What's up, everybody, and welcome in to another edition of Big Men on Basketball. Today is Wednesday, December 28th, 2022. We are wrapping up a year that has been very interesting, at least in my world and in a lot of our worlds. 2022 is just about done. But before we get into 2023, we've got a couple more days of 2022. We haven't been on in a while. I hope you all had a great Christmas, a great holiday, and hopefully you got all the goodies you wanted from Santa. I had a good holiday myself, and we kind of turned the page now. This is always a decent week, right? You got plenty of bowl games. You got some college hoops coming back. We're almost to conference play. We're starting to get into conference play tonight, which we'll get into. And I want to get into a couple of bowl games tonight as well. So shout out to you if you're here watching. No Days Nadu is here. The only reason I've been off the last 2 days is because we haven't had any games. But I'm back today, and I'm going to be here the rest of the week. I'm writing blogs. I'm cranking out podcasts. Nadu has no days off here, folks. I don't have days off. The Barstool office might be off, but I'm not. I'm here, and I'm here to take your questions. So feel free to drop them in the chat now. If you're Nadu crew, welcome. Say hello. If you're just here to watch, welcome. Say hello. If you haven't, make sure you hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. A lot of good content here on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube channel. So what we'll do is we'll just give it a minute or so, let some people join here. If you're watching us on Twitter, what's up? Welcome in. If you're watching us on YouTube, same to you as well. A couple of shout outs here. Stephen Marinello, good to see you back. What's up, Stephen Marinello? How you doing? Al B, James Valentine, what's up? Cliff, what's up, my man? How you doing, brother? Travis Todd, same to you. Same to you. Dalton, time for conference play. Yes. Matthew, what's good? By the way, I'm fucking killing bowl season. I got to play for you here tonight, so stay tuned. Mellow Ball, what's up? Seamus Shields, what's good? Tristan C, my man, what's up? Sam Ryan, Nick Johannes, Julian, LJ, what's good? Bama Boy says, I have a bet with my friend. Are you vaxxed? Well, that's none of your business. Luckily, as an American, I can choose to tell you if I'm vaxxed or not. Todd Marquez, what's up? You're out in the wild was gangster. Thank you for sharing all of your knowledge. You out in the wild was gangster. Oh, thank you, Todd. Yes. By the way, what a video that was. What a video. For anyone that doesn't know, so I'm at that spot, right? And my boy was in town from Cali. He was across the room from me. And he just hit that, and he comes over. He's like, yo, look at this video. I'm like, that's a fucking great video. I do want to apologize, though. I was not shooing the one girl off. She's cool. She had come over and said something about, like, being drunk. And I was like, yo, you're already drunk. And it looked like I shoot her off, but I really wasn't. All those girls are cool. I was not shooting them off. What's up, Wolf Designs? Welcome in, my man. All right, let's get into a couple of games here. You're welcome to ask any questions that you might have, and we will get into it. By the way, Barstool Arizona Bowl is Friday, barstool.tv. Look, if the Barstool Invitational is any indication about how this is going to go, it's going to be quite the event. You got Ohio, you got Wyoming. It's going to be a great matchup. It's going to be a great game. You got Dave, Dan, all the guys on the call. You got sideline people. You got halftime shows. You got all sorts of shit going down in Arizona. Make sure you check out the Barstool Arizona Bowl this Friday, December 30th. Ohio and Wyoming. You got the MAC, Mountain West. And I will have a play for you on that game as well. All right. Let's get in to the show. I want to start with game number one, and it goes live at 5:30 Eastern. It is the Tennessee Volunteers and the Ole Miss Rebels. A team we haven't talked much about is Ole Miss. And I got to tell you, this team has been sometimes pretty impressive, but for the most part, this team has been pretty lackluster, quite frankly. The truth is, generally, if you can shoot the basketball at a decently high level against Ole Miss, you will win. Okay, this is a team coming off a loss to North Alabama. Let me say that again. This is a team coming off a loss against North Alabama. That said, things change when you get into conference play. This is a home game. You look at Tennessee, they're really the only team in this conference that has had a tough road game this year. They did actually go out to Arizona, played the Wildcats very tough, did a nice job defensively. This is still the same old really good Tennessee team. They're elite defensively. They're really elite at every end. And look, they do what they do. They defend, they grab offensive rebounds, and they create. And generally, when we have these situations where if a team doesn't make shots, they ain't going to win. Look, Tennessee's just a better team. They rebound their misses. They defend their asses off. I look at this game and I say to myself, what do I like a side? Not really. To me, this screamed like 65-56, something like that. I think Ole Miss has a lot of trouble scoring in this game, which most teams do when they play Tennessee. Remember, this Tennessee team is number one in America in defensive efficiency. Okay, that's something at a norm. They're good every single season. You look at how is Ole Miss going to keep Tennessee off the glass in this game? I think that's the path to offense here. And look, it's not like Tennessee's not going to get the opportunities. It's can they make those opportunities? You look at so far this season, 33% from three. Nakuma shot the ball pretty well. Vescovi, I think, can get going. Tyreek Key's been okay. I'm looking at this game. If I had to play it, which I am not, I would lean Tennessee in the under. I don't think Ole Miss is very good. Again, things kind of change because conference play changes a lot of things. It's the shot for you to completely restart. And that's the thing. If you're a team like Ole Miss, you're not worried about North Alabama. You're not worried about games against Stanford. You're not worried about what you did in the non-conference because it really doesn't matter, right? This is the opportunity for you now. You have the chance to get big-time wins. This is a top, 6 team in America. But this Tennessee team is massive on the glass, man. They're very good. Number 1 team in America in offensive rebound percentage. That's a high number, man. They're better than Kentucky, West Virginia, some of the UNC teams that really hit the glass hard. This Tennessee team is tough. Again, I lean under. I lean Tennessee. I think this is like a 65-56 type of game. Kind of around 130. If I can get under 131, I might have some interest here. So it's a 131.5. So I kind of lean under the number. Let's kind of keep up to date with the comments here. I don't want to kind of have to repeat things. A lot of people asking about different games. I'm going to get into a lot of the bigger games here. Do you like Villanova tonight? Look, I can't say I'm running to bet Villanova. Again, though, we have not seen anyone keep it within double digits with UConn. Will that happen? I'm not ready to bet into it. I know that. Ryan E., I give you a lot of credit for doing that. I'm not doing it. I have no interest in doing that because it seems like anytime you think UConn's going to have a down game, well, they win by double digits. It's just not something I'm looking to bet into. Sorry. If you want to bet into it, so be it. It's not like Villanova isn't very good. So, yeah, I'm not running to do that. Sorry. Just not running to do that. All right. Nadu, when are you moving to Miami? I want to go fishing offshore. I don't know. We haven't talked about it. Maybe it'll be something that we discuss in the new year. But I have no idea. Getting some breaking news here. Is this that's not true, is it? I don't want to repeat it if I don't know that it's true. I want to try to verify something here. We're getting some possible breaking news here. And if it's true, that is very sad to hear. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything, so I'm not going to repeat that. But look, if you're saying that kind of stuff in the chat, I mean, first of all, you're a loser. Second of all, don't do that. That's not right. If you don't have proof, you shouldn't be saying stuff like that. I don't know who started that stupid trend, talking about people's deaths. Just really sickening. If you're doing it, you're going to be blocked. It's that simple. It's fucking wrong. It's not right. Cut it out. Kansas, Arkansas. Kansas doesn't play Arkansas tonight. Best bets for the night. Listen to the show. We'll keep getting into it. Any thoughts on Wilmington? No, I have no thoughts on Wilmington. I'm going to get into Kentucky. I'm going to get into it right now. I like Mizzou in this game, and I'm going to play Mizzou. I played him at plus 3.5. I like Mizzou here. Missouri's been a team that I think we can call at certain points a bit of a fraud, right? They go into Kansas, really struggled. But there's a couple of things that I'm starting to worry about with Kentucky. I'm going to ask you guys right now, and I'm being 100% serious. On paper right now, who's the better team? Look, I know people will say it's Kentucky, but are they? I'm not really sure they are. I mean, this Missouri team is really good on offense. They're really good in transition. And I've noticed against certain teams that have been good in transition, i.e. Gonzaga, Kentucky really struggled. Throw in the fact that Mizzou's at home here. This is a big game for Dennis Gates. And this is a game where if I'm Dennis Gates, I make it clear to my team and I say, look, we have some great wins here. We're coming off a terrific game against Illinois, a game that I didn't think they had in them. Take away that Kansas game, a game that just didn't suit them. This team has been incredibly good. I think the transition really bothers Missouri or really bothers Kentucky in this game. And I think Kentucky is a little bit messy right now. I don't really think they know exactly what they're doing at certain points position-wise right now. They've struggled a lot in stepping up in competition. And look, they're stepping up here. This is a tough game. They've really had, with the exception of Gonzaga, have really not had a road game. And remember in that Gonzaga game, they struggled mightily in that game. I get a weird feeling Dennis Gates is going to have something for Oscar Tshiebwe. Look, do I have a feeling that Missouri has nothing for him? Probably. I'm sure Dennis Gates will try, but Tshiebwe is one of the best players in the country. At the end of the day, though, let's say Tshiebwe goes off and you just don't let anyone else go off. Missouri is going to bother Kentucky in transition here. Throw in the fact that I'm getting 3 full points here and I'm at home. I think Missouri is the play here. I'm going to take them in this game. I just think for me, I think the transition offense is something that Missouri can exploit Kentucky with. I thought they were really effective against Illinois. That was an impressive performance. So I'm going to go with Mizzou here tonight. All right. Yeah, a lot of fucking rude people in here. I don't know what you guys are doing. Just really screwed up. I mean, that's where we're at in this world. We're making fun of and pretending people are dying. Just really sickening. Sam Moon, what's up, my man? How you doing? Sometimes some of this stuff needs we need some moderators in here. UCF Wichita State. This is an interesting game. I'll tell you what, this screamed versus 60 wins. You have two teams that want to play snail pace here. Two really good defensive teams, two teams that just aren't very dynamic on the offensive end. Look, I think UCF's the better team. The number makes sense here. I would put it at 60, 53, something like that. But you have UCF 352 in pace, Wichita State 295. Both these teams, I have top 35 in defensive efficiency. They're both very good defensively. Now, interestingly enough, last season, both of these games went over. If we're talking about this number, one of which got into, I believe, the 150s. I think it went to overtime. It was a pretty rough beat. It had no business going over, went to overtime, and then found its way to get into the high 70s. But I'm looking here. If all things go how they should, this game stays under. And what have we seen in this game? It opened 120.5. It's been bet up to 124.5. I feel like at the highest number, I think the under's worth the look in this one. To me, it was first to 60 wins. I think this is your good old-fashioned rock fight slugfest in the AAC. Now, again, last year, both games got well into the 130s and one got into the 150s. But if everything goes the way it should here, this game is first to 60 wins. And I have a hard time kind of talking about which team is better defensively. I think the only way this game goes over is if UCF goes off from 3, which they're capable of. But I feel like if you extend out a little bit, I think this game is a complete rock fight. And that's the way Isaac Brown wants it. That's the way Johnny Dawkins wants it. Johnny Dawkins wants this team to play the slowest tempo in America, which they've been doing. I mean, they're 352 out of 363. That is bottom of the barrel slow. So long as UCF doesn't go off from 3, I think this game stays under the number. Arkansas LSU. Another game. First true road game for Arkansas. Been a little disjointed with certain people playing. Trevon Brazil's been out. Nick Smith's not going to play tonight. A big loss for Arkansas. You're not going with your full complement of players. Look, I'm not a big LSU guy. I'm just not. I don't think they're there yet. That said, this is a tough spot for Arkansas. It really is. Because LSU, look, they're not that same, run and gun up tempo team that they've been in years past. This team has been solid on the defensive end. The problem is they just haven't played a schedule we're talking about. I mean, they lost to K-State, their only step-up game. And outside of that, they have played just a disaster of a schedule. This could be one of those bitch slap games where Arkansas comes in and is just way better than they are. I just wish I had the full complement of players. The problem I have here, if I'm LSU, I would just zone Arkansas, make them hit jump shots. That's not something they can do. They have really struggled from three all season. Arkansas, I believe, is the better athletes. They're a bigger team. They're just a bigger, better, more athletic basketball team than LSU is right now. They also don't turn the ball over, which LSU does at a very high rate. I still think with the skeleton crew that they have, I think they get it done here. But it is a hard thing to do. It's hard for me to lay 4.5 on the road with a team that is disjointed without certain players and in their first true road game. But is LSU the same place that it's usually? Look, students aren't there. This is probably the best time to go to LSU. I didn't get there with this one, but if I had to bet it, I would lean Arkansas here. I just think they're a better team. Look, if this number's 1.5, well, then I think there's something up, but it's not. It's 4.5. If Arkansas just can make their free throws, which, they're slightly above 72%, which is pretty damn good, if we're being honest. They also don't settle for threes. If I'm LSU and they can get this into a half-court game, this game's going to stay under the number. It's that simple. It's that simple. I think if you like Arkansas, you lean over. If you like LSU, you lean under. It's a weird one. I lean Arkansas, though. All right. What's up, Patrick? How you doing, brother? Take it easy. Take it easy. How you doing? Oh, yeah, bowl game. Yeah, I didn't get the bowl games yet. I'm talking about college football. Why would you bring up bowl games? I'm going to go over all the bowl games again. I don't know why you guys feel a need to, sometimes there's only 3 bowl games. I'll get to them. Just bear with me here. I'm a huge Kentucky fan, and I hate to say it, but I agree. Yeah, I think you have to roll with that. What do you plan? Yeah, listen, my goal is to not steal anyone. I'm trying to find single checks. But yeah, obviously that's always the goal. Thanks for doing an amazing job. Love your shows. Thank you, Dennis Seacoff. I appreciate that. Is it possible for Mississippi State to slow down Alabama and cover the under once again? Well, that's interesting you asked that because that's the next game we're going to talk about. Look, this game screams Mississippi State. I think Tolu Smith could have a big game here, and I think Chris Jans is going to have something for that shithead Nate Oates, one of the worst coaches in basketball. I'm not big into Alabama. I'm just not. I don't like their game plan. I don't think Nate Oates can coach. And I think Chris Jans will coach fucking circles around this guy. It's that simple. I will always take the dog in this game. The team on paper that should be a much bigger dog, and they're only a 1.5-point dog at home. Home field plays big in college football, college basketball. The whole world's saying, well, Alabama, they're great. They beat this team. They beat that team. Yeah, but that doesn't really matter now. We're in conference play. If I'm Chris Jans, I slow this game down to a fucking halt and say, okay, try to beat us now. You hit the glass hard, you get the ball to Tolu Smith, and you take the air out of the fucking ball. That's what I would do here. I would never be on Alabama in this spot. If they win, salute. Maybe they'll hit 17 threes. I can't play the game in the end. But I have a feeling Chris Jans and Mississippi State get on the map tonight. The big question with this team all year is, are they real? Is that 11-1 real? They were undefeated going into that game against Drake. Hard-fought 58-52 game. You look at last season. Beat Alabama. 78-76. Only played them once, but beat them. And that was a much different Mississippi State team. Beat them 78-76 at home. You look at Alabama in that game. 8 for 29 from 3. If that happens tonight, Mississippi State will win, and they will win going away. This is a way better Mississippi State team than last season. I didn't believe it. I didn't see it, but I see it now. Get the ball to Tolu Smith. He is the difference in this game. Mississippi State wins, if you're asking me. I think they get another one in a feather of the cap. Remember that game last year? Alabama shot 28 free throws. Mississippi State shot 38 free throws. They only shot 2 for 16 from 3 and still won the game. Ben Howland and Chris Jans, big advantage to Mississippi State. Thoughts on Quisenberry in for Fordham tonight? Line seems to be telling Davidson. I don't think Fordham's very good. I think they've been really the benefit of a good schedule. We'll see, though. Davidson's a tough offense. I feel like there's points in that game. Northwestern State was robbed last night. Well, they lost by double digits. How were they robbed? Hashtag Nadu. Appreciate you, bro. Arkansas shooting worries me. Yeah, and that's the knock there. That's why I didn't play that game. This is an interesting one as well. St. John Xavier. We hear how great Xavier is. They're great. They're big. They're huge. They're going to bother St. John's. Yet they're only a 1.5 2-point favorite here. Can St. John's get a signature win under Mike Anderson? First game of conference play for the most part. Big game at home here. Joel Soriano's playing well. High-scoring games. Can be back and forth. This is another one where Xavier should probably be a bigger favorite, shouldn't they? This number's almost telling you, take Xavier. Take Xavier. They're going to win by 10. I don't like these spots for teams like Xavier. I feel like tonight, if you take Mississippi State and St. John's, you will, at worst, push. I've talked about these spots time and time again. And I'll tell you tonight, here's a little piece of advice for you. Bet the dog in these spots the entire rest of the year. I guarantee you'll come out on top. And here's what I'm going to do. I'll identify these games every night, and we'll make a running total. You can tail or not. I'm only going to put a couple dollars in these, but I want to show you guys how these cash every night. These home dogs against better teams that should be a bigger dog, and they're not. Books generally pretend they're stealing money with a big team like Xavier. Whole world will bet Xavier, and they'll lose this game. Same with Alabama. You have 2 of those games tonight. We'll see how they go. I bet you at least get 1-1. I don't think you go on 2 in these games. And you also have 1 in away with Missouri. How many – I'd love to know what the betting percentage is. I guarantee Missouri is getting all the money in the game, but all the bets are on Kentucky. Let's take a look here. No. Interesting. 78% of the bets, 79% of the money is on Kentucky. It's interesting. By the way, Missouri got absolutely crushed last year by Kentucky. Just want to throw that out there. But yeah, interesting spots tonight for 2 dogs, Mississippi State and St. John's. We'll see how real Mississippi State is tonight. It's a fascinating game. Yep. Yes, they do. Every year. It's the same old shit. I have no interest in betting against UConn. I parlayed Arkansas Xavier. I don't like that. Good luck though. And he never changes it up. Any thoughts on Florida Auburn? I have no interest right now in Florida. I don't know what's going to take for them to figure it out. It just seems like they just continue to be it doesn't matter who the coach is. It's just I don't have any interest. Not right now. What's up, Tyler? How you doing? What is a couple dollars to you? It doesn't really matter. It's not no one's business what you bet or how much you bet. Houston first half, run it back. I like the under in that game, if I'm being honest. I don't know how Tulsa scores there. Tulsa wants to keep that game very low tempoed. Houston has no problem playing that way. Tulsa's going to have a lot of trouble scoring in that game. But no, that Houston first half was really just in the out of conference. I don't think it would be a bad play tonight, though. I mean, if it's under 10, which, I mean, I forget what the number in that game is. Tell me what the number is. I'll see if I have interest in it. Yeah, I mean, it's no real anyone's interest, really, what anyone bets. That's none of your business, I think. Just like it's none of my business what you bet. That's up to you. Let me get into a little college football here tonight. This game's going to start here in just a little bit. You got Arkansas and Kansas. I don't know what these bowls are called. I really don't care, to be honest. Arkansas -2.5. Total is 70. A lot of high-scoring games on these cards today. A lot of high numbers. You got a 70. You got a 68, I believe. You got a 75.5. Big play offenses. Arkansas has some problems here, though. Arkansas, who the hell's playing for this team? Everybody's out. Hazelwood's out on offense. You got offensive linemen not playing. Bumper Pool's out on defense. You got 4 or 5 kids out on defense that start. And this is a defense already, in essence, that was bad to begin with. This defense sucked. And I used this last night in ECU team total over. No one was playing for Coastal on defense. Same with Arkansas here. That said, you look at Kansas. Shouldn't have any trouble scoring here. But do you have any trust in them getting any stops? I don't. I mean, Kansas didn't stop anybody all season. I just wish Arkansas had a few more complementary players on offense, but they still have some talent there. They should be able to run the ball down Kansas's throat. I'd be hard-pressed to find why this game doesn't go over the number. I also don't really have any interest in laying 2.5 at Arky. It's been a great season for me in college football. I just see points here. This seems first to 35 wins. I think this is like a 41-35 type of game. I think both teams get over 50 or over 35. This is like a 41-35 type of game. Shit, they could both get to 50. Yeah, Arkansas is messy on defense. They've got some major issues. Thoughts on Nick Smith? He's not playing tonight. Yeah, it is a weird question. It really doesn't like that's such an odd. That's like saying like, what's your account number in the bank? Like, what? Why does it have any bearing what I bet? Whether I bet 10 million or $10 a game, what does that matter to you? Like, I bet the same amount every game, so it really doesn't matter. Yeah, it's a weird question. Don't count other people's money. That would be a good advice to you. By the way, why the question? What a weird question anyway. It's kind of just such a weird question. I don't know. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that's a weird question. Do that a favor for me. If you think asking someone how much they bet per game is a weird question, put that in the chat. 1 in the chat. I think it's a weird question. I almost fired on Kansas team total over. Yeah, I think it's a great play. Yeah, a lot of weird questions. Any opinion on Baylor first half? No, I don't have any thoughts on that one. Baylor could be down in that game as far as they're just ready for conference play. The other game tonight, Oregon UNC. Another game. I don't know who stops who here, honestly. Bo Nix might score. I mean, they might score 60 in this game. UNC, another team. The whole secondary is out for UNC. Storm Duck's out. Troy Grimes is out. Whole world's out for UNC. I mean, who's playing in that secondary? What are they grabbing people off the campus to play? I mean, Oregon, again, might score 60 in this game. UNC, I don't think they have much trouble scoring either. I think this is like a 52-31 type of game. I think this is just like, I don't know if maybe you just live bet the over. I don't think you have to go into much in this one. Ole Miss, Texas Tech. Ole Miss has struggled a little bit with mobile quarterbacks. I think Texas Tech could give them something there. I do think Texas Tech is pretty solid. We always feel like they're a bad defensive team, but they always find ways to get late stops in games. I didn't run to bet that one. I leaned Texas Tech. It didn't really jump out to me, though. Another game that could fly over the total. A lot of 1s in the chat, a lot of 2s in the chat. I think we have more 1s, though. Just be real? No. I don't want to be. It's none of your business. It's like asking someone how much they make. It's just like weird. Why so many weird questions today? Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know. I think, Billy, I think you're a good guy, but I don't know. It's the question that doesn't really mean anything. Like I said, what do you gain by knowing it is the question. Like, what do you like? So let's say I say it's 500. What do you have to gain by that? Oh, cool. It's like, it's all really about your financial situation. Do I think Arkansas basketball are still title contenders after injuries? They need Nick Smith healthy. I think they can win without Trayvon Brazile, but I need Nick Smith healthy and good to go. He's been in and out of the lineup. Secondary is trash for UNC. Yes, it is. It's very bad. And that's the problem with Arkansas and UNC. These are bad defenses to begin with. Well, now you have 3 or 4 guys out, couple in the defensive line, couple in the secondary. You got major issues. You'd have more trust in a guy betting more money. I'd assume that's why it's easy to get picks when you aren't heavy on anything. But how do you know my financial situation? I could have millions of dollars, and I'm just frugal. I don't look at gambling like how much money I can make per game. It's a simple amount that I bet, and I just build. It's like a long-term thing. So again, like, let's say I bet 500 a game. It's like, what if I have 20 million in the bank? It's like, you don't really know. No one really knows. I don't know any of your financial situations. You guys could all be really rich, Again, I have no interest in betting against UConn right now. Good luck if you do. No, it's actually a decent conversation. That's it's all kind of what's your unit size? Yeah, what is your Billy? How about you answer? What's your unit size? What's your unit size? Put this dude in the corner and let's talk sport. I mean, that's another thing though. We have been. I mean, we've been talking sports for 30 minutes. What more do you want? As long as you bet responsibly, who cares? Yeah. I mean, you bet what you want. It's your money. Bet what you want. Yes. Correct. Prank Brother says 1 unit is my unit size. There you go. Maybe you bet a lot of games, Yep, I was at $25, $50 when I was that age as well. As you get older, you get higher. It's just kind of what you are comfortable with, you know what I'm saying? Yes, anyway, why are you asking me what my unit size is anyway? It's big. By the way, go read my latest blog. Per usual, I have guys, listen, you can say what you want about Nadu, but I mean, my blogs move the needle. I mean, yet again, I have a blog that is number 1 on the Barstool blog rankings. Nadu's working. That's what I do. Do me a favor and click that. I go read it. It's very interesting. It's about some cartel stuff. Pancho Burciaga says my unit is 1,000 pesos. And remember, there's a conversion. So 1,000 pesos is not $1,000. Good to have you, Pancho. Welcome in. Any thoughts on Air Force against San Diego State? No, I hate San Diego State. How was getting down with your honey last night? You look refreshed. It was great. It's great. Always good. Always good to start the week out with some, you know what I'm saying? It's a good end to the year. Good start to the new year. Fun convo nonetheless. Absolutely. Yes, I agree. It would be very fun. I don't think that's a good game at all. I have no interest in San Jose State. You're hard to like. But you're still here. So thanks for being here. Do you like anything in Washington, Texas? I got Washington +6 2 weeks ago, but it seems like everyone is on Washington. That number's coming down. I got to admit, I kind of liked Washington myself, but I got to look more into it. I haven't gotten to that game yet. 1,000 pesos equals $50. Yes. Thank you. I knew that. I'm very up on Mexican culture. I didn't want to say it, but that's a good amount of money in Mexico. $50 per game. That's good stuff. Any thoughts on Ole Miss, Tennessee? You're way behind. Talked about that game a while ago. You can rewind. Lean Tennessee, though. What other questions do we have here tonight, guys? I'm going to stay on for another 5 or so minutes, maybe 10 if we get enough questions. Any other questions, you're welcome to send them in. Doesn't have to be sports related. By the way, Barstool Bowl, Arizona Bowl, Friday, December 30th, barstool.tv. It's going to be a great event. Make sure you check that out. Make sure you check that out. Ohio and Wyoming. Ohio, Wyoming. MAC versus Mountain West. Portnoy and Big Cat on the call. I'm sure there'll be all sorts of goodies that happen during it. We remember how fun the Invitational was. That was a great night. That was a great night. How often do you go to Mass? Not as much as I should. Do you play music when getting it in? Yeah, I usually put on the like the music choice channel. You know, they have those on like Comcast or whatever. I just put those on. Am I going to the Barstool? No, I'm not. Nadu has to be an expert in Latin culture. Yes. I'm big into Latin culture. Yes. Are you going to steal? Yeah, you asked that already. Been following you for years since the Donnie Rightside days. Much love. Thank you, Tom Gleason. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you for being here. That was many years ago. Donnie's still my man, though. How do you get so many Latinas? Well, where I live, there's a lot of them. I live in a very Latin area. A lot of Puerto Ricans, Colombians, Dominicans, Mexicans, Cubans, all sorts. Are you going to participate in the Barstool Bowl? No, I'm not in Arizona for that. No. Yes, they're good channels. What about Luka Doncic last night? Yeah, he's incredible. He's an incredible basketball player. I think he's, to me, the best player in the NBA. Yeah, I don't have anything on New Mexico, Colorado State tonight. I don't think they stay undefeated, though. I think Colorado State has something for them. Shout out to them. Maybe someday. Have you had any more contact? No, I haven't. Have I ever been to Cuba? No, I haven't. Colombian women are fine. Yes, they are. Some of the finest in the world. Who's your AFC favorite? Chiefs, Bills, or Bengals? Chiefs. Though I do think the Bengals are going to find a way to do it. I said the Bengals are going to win the Super Bowl, but Chiefs, I just love Mahomes. You ask this every day. I don't think there is any. There's nothing really more to find out. He was shot. It's all about him recovering. Listen, Prank Bros, I don't know. I think you feel like I have this like inside. I don't. I just looked at the case and talked about it. But no, I don't believe there's any criminal charges being sought. I mean, he acted in self-defense and he was shot. I think I don't think we're not going to see him again this year. I know that. They need you on the sideline doing in-game reporting. I would listen, guys. I'm always available to do anything. I was not asked to do it, but yeah, I'm available to do any podcast, anything they need. I'm always here. All they got to do is hit me up. Does Lane Johnson injury concern you? Yeah, definitely. But I think luckily the Eagles' offensive line's deep, and they'll be okay. How did you get the BMOC nickname? My mom gave me it many years ago when I first got into this business. I was looking for a nickname. I did a lot of college stuff, and I remember telling the story. I was at my parents' house having dinner, and we were talking about it. And I mentioned getting a YouTube channel and stuff, and I was like, I need a nickname. Like I need a pseudonym. I didn't want to use my real name at the time, though it still was involved. I just wanted more of a nickname. And I mentioned college, and I remember I had a logo. It was like books with like money coming out. And my mom's like, "How about Big Men on Campus?" I'm like, because I was like a bigger guy back then. I've written about that in a blog. It was when I was at Barstool the first time. It was how I lost a ton of weight. I talked about that story. Are you ever going to do anything with OG Shadow? Yeah, I know him. I've talked to him before. I don't know if we're going to do anything together, but I got to look more into him. I always like to validate people. Nice guy, though. He's contacted me. I definitely hope he stays safe. Would Luka have played college if they had NIL back then? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. My guess is probably no. Are you still in touch with Donnie? And he plans to do a show together again? Maybe someday. Yeah, we talk pretty frequently. See, him and I are friends outside of here. So, like, when we have parties, his family comes and stuff. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't have any insight, no. The fact the Idaho murder case has been so silent is wild. They're not going to solve that. I'll tell you right now. I'm going to keep saying it, and it's sad, but they're not going to solve it. I think they have a lot of problems in that case. And I think even if they solve it, it's going to be very tough to bring a conviction in that case. Unless they're just sitting on info and they haven't told anyone anything, it screams there's no evidence. And what do you do here? If you have no camera footage, which you don't, you have no cell phone footage, which if it's any smart person, you don't, you have no murder weapon, and you have little to no evidence of actual physical evidence as far as latents or anything. If you don't have fingerprints or hair, very few ways you can convict this individual, even if you can connect him some way to the case. And if they have not made that clear that they have any of that stuff. Throw in the fact that the crime scene could be contaminated, which I've talked about. I think they have major issues in this case. I also think there's some things they haven't talked about that I find interesting. It's weird they haven't mentioned the one girl's mother had been arrested multiple times for drug trafficking. She has active warrants. That's pretty interesting. But yeah, I won't bore you guys with that on this, but maybe we'll do another live show soon on that. Savage Samurai, thank you for watching. I think a basketball pick'em show would break the internet. Yep, you and everybody else. I agree. Worst nickname a friend tried to give you. Chubbs. That was a kind of a nickname I had with a couple of my friends back in high school. But I was called two different things in high school, one of which was good, one of which wasn't. Thank you, Gino. I appreciate that. I just joined chat. Can a member do me a solid and let me know if he had any plays for the 2 p.m. slate? Yeah, the only plays I took tonight were Mississippi State plus 1.5 and Missouri plus 3.5. I also like St. John's a little bit, plus 2. Can you believe Denzel is such a one-dimensional actor? Laugh my ass if that was a good one. Well, that's White Sox Dave. I mean, one of the dumbest people on the planet. I mean, just a complete imbecile. And he just says shit with nothing, like with no sort of evidence. It's just stupid. What's he talking about? What does it even mean? He acts the same in every. So what? Like when he was a football coach, then he was a trainer of a trainee in the LA Police Department. What about the gangster when he was a drug trafficker? What about the boxer who was framed for murder? I mean, what? It's weirdest thing. Like weirdest thing that continues to pervade White Sox Dave is this saying stuff with like just the conviction that he actually believes it himself. There's no way he can actually believe this shit. Did you cover the Idaho murder case on the sit-down? Yes, we did. 2 episodes ago, 86. I had an FBI agent friend of mine on. Only way is if the perf left any blood, and then they can do the whole matching thing, cold case type stuff. So on Dateline, they got a guy from a 40-year murder on that thing. Yes, it could take years, decades, quite frankly. Did you write about the Idaho murder? I need to read up if so. Yes, I wrote about it, and we did a show. Is there a YouTube channel for your true crime sit-down podcast? Yes, let me give it to you here. Let me get a link for you. I'm going to have all of you hopefully go and subscribe. I think you'll enjoy the channel. We do a lot of good mafia content and true crime content and all that sort of thing. So yes, let me drop that. It is a Barstool channel. One of the most successful Barstool YouTube channels. We do a lot of views on that. Comparable to very few in the Barstool universe. So much good basketball on tonight. Yes. Damn, hope you feel better, Alex. That sucks, man. That sucks. What else do we have here? The Hurricane boxer falsely accused of murder. What a real guy. Yeah, I think that's my favorite Denzel film. I love The Hurricane. Really enjoyed that. Oh, yeah, it was an airline pilot, too. Good call. Yeah, all the same role, by the way. But he claims that his demeanor is the same in all the movies. I don't know. Weird. Jonesy, what's up? What's up, Joe? Appreciate that, Billy. All right, guys, I am out of here. You all enjoy your evening. Thank you for watching. College basketball, like Mississippi State plus 1.5. I also like Missouri plus 3.5. I also took a little St. John's plus 2. And I also played, what did I play? Oregon, team total over 44.5. I think they scored 50 in that game. I am out. You guys have a great evening. I thank you for watching. If you want, come back here tomorrow. We get Jim Root on the show, I believe. I haven't checked with him, but he should be on. That'll be a great show as usual. If you haven't, make sure you hit the like button. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe. Also, go check out my podcast, The Sit Down. You can find it on YouTube. You can also find it on iTunes. We have a new show out today with Barstool Chief from Chicago. So go check that out. I thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow here on Big Men on Basketball.